Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to Cask 529. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Shona.
And I picked her up along the road just this afternoon. I said, hey, my regular guys can't make it. I need somebody to come do this live with me.
So he showed me the picture of the bar, and I decided I would just come for the booze tonight.
That's what she said.
But then I got here, and they're all empty.
Right. Well, that's because in your previous visits, you've worked on emptying them.
That's what it was.
So
I thought you were just bringing me down here to make me look at the empty bottles tonight.
Did it work?
It must have. I'm here.
So anyway, guys, we're going to try to make this a fun little live. We're going to, as Shona mentioned, we've accumulated a lot of empty bottles. We're going to talk about them briefly.
Yep.
Will we replace them? Will we replace them right away?
Brian's been talking about this show. We've started saving these bottles probably about two months ago.
Yep.
And let me tell you, I'm anxious to get rid of these bottles under the bar, so I'm glad that we're finally doing this show.
We have created a lot of room.
It's taken up a lot of space, so I'm happy to get this show going.
So I just want to say, where did we get so many empty bottles? We've been on this journey for just over a year. Naturally, we have killed a few bottles. Some bottles we've already replaced ourselves. In January, we started hosting a monthly whiskey club tasting night. And that is 3, most generally 4 bottles a month for that. And at the end of that night, usually there's only just a little bit left in the bottom of each of those bottles. And those were going onto the shelf. Mm-hmm. Shona and I would make some content out of those bottles. And then generally there was still a little bit left. While we were literally running, we don't have that many shelves to begin with. And we were just running out of room. So about 2 months ago, like she said, we said, hey, in the evenings, even if there's something we'd rather have, we need to start drinking those bottles that are almost empty.
Yep. And
make room for more stuff. So that's what we started doing. And wow, did they start emptying quick.
They did. They did. I gave Bryan the mission, and he took the challenge. He was on it.
I was.
I just want to say some shout outs out there. Thanks for joining us. We got Rick, we got Tater Dom, we got Gandhi, we got Michael Bortner, we got John Schenk, Bourbon Nerd, Hazmat Compton. Cheers everyone. I know there's a few others on here, but that's the ones I'm seeing at the moment. So thank you all for joining us. I'd like to kick it off before we start opening or showing the empty bottles. Gandhi was sweet enough to send us, not only did he provide us with the bottle of Eagle Rare that we're giving away at the end of this month for our Wednesday night trivia challenge, the grand prize. So thank you, Gandhi, for that. We also got a box in the UPS box today that has a blind tasting for us to do, and we're going to do that show on Sunday. Mm-hmm. But he also threw in there a couple JT Melick samples for us. And so we thought, hey, we're going to have these tonight because it's one I've been wanting to try. It's the 100% rice. This one, actually the one I'm going to pour first, is a Bourbon Judge pick at 124.7 proof. And the other one is their Whiskey High Proof at 118. So thanks, Gandhi. We really appreciate this. Super excited.
We're super anxious to try these, Gandhi. We've been wanting to get our hands on these, so we appreciate it. Thank you again.
I'm going to just pour these and let it open up a little bit while we're...
And hey, guys, I just want to tell everybody that a couple things that are going to happen tonight. Shona is going to provide you guys with a hashtag. Everybody is going to be eligible for a set of samples. Yep. She knows what those are. I do not.
I'm going to go ahead and start that. That way you guys can go ahead and start getting entered, and then I'll put it like a little thing up at the top of the screen so you can see it. But it is going to be actually not a hashtag, it's an exclamation point. Whiskey is going to be the thing. And so I went ahead and started that, but you do have to be present at the end of the when we finally draw, you do have to be present to get that. I see Alan joined in. and Kevin Westfall. Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
and
guys.
Matt B. Tammy, sorry, I'm missing people, guys. I'm talking and not seeing. Cheers, everyone that joined.
So far, just do a quick catch up. Cheers to everybody that has joined us. We
Yes.
appreciate you coming, taking time out of your Friday evening. Hopefully we can make it worthwhile. We've got some fun stuff going on.
We do. And we also have one other thing that we're going to, maybe two other things, but one other thing I want to say. So to our patrons, our patron group is starting to grow. And so what I thought would be fun, what we both thought would be fun, is we're just going to do at the end of each of our lives, not the trivia lives, but if, you know.
Yeah, because that's another
Yeah,
giveaway.
that's a different one. But whenever either the guys are doing a live or I'm up here doing a live with Brian, we are going to spin the wheel for our paid patrons and do a 2-ounce surprise sample giveaway. And I was out in the shop and I created these little laser. Now, I bought the keychains, guys. I'm going to put a picture up here. I'm not going to say that I didn't do that. But anyways, I thought these were really cool when I seen them in our catalog. They're little bottle openers. I know we don't really need bottle openers for whiskey, but a bunch of us are beer drinkers too. So anyways, Cask 529 keychains. So our patrons at the end of the show will be spinning a wheel. The paid patrons, if you are here and your name's drawn, you'll get that. If not, we'll respin it for the patron that is still here. So just look forward to that at the end of the shows too.
I think currently we're up to 8 patrons. Like she said, it is starting to really grow. So you will have to be here to win that though also. So, okay.
Okay, so you want to try this before we get started?
And this is the JT Malik 100% rice.
This is the Bourbon Judge.
His pick.
One of his
Okay.
picks, yeah. And I've watched the Bourbon Judge.
Shauna really likes watching the Bourbon
Yeah,
Judge.
he's one of the first channels when we started watching that. I hooked on to. I think he's pretty cool. Seems to have a lot of picks. We'd love to have a pick one day.
One day.
One day, we'd
You
love to
guys
have a
keep
pick.
helping us build this channel. We're going to have one.
Yeah.
It's got a nice nose. I mean, you went right into it. You weren't interested in nosing it, I guess. See, I told you I picked her up on the sidewalk.
That's nice. It's rich, full of flavors. It's bold. Wow. Gandhi, thank you for sending us that.
Gandhi, I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Bourbon School, cheers. Roger Randall, cheers. Let's see who else we got in here that I haven't said cheers to. If I missed anybody, I am sorry. Kevin, Damien, Adams. Okay, I think I'm caught up on that. All right, let's get into the first
We ready to
bottles.
start this thing?
We are. You might want to move your pour down that way. You have
Sorry.
room.
Okay, we're going to start off with 2 bottles. These were both from last month's whiskey club tasting night. And it was a Penelope Architect and a Penelope Barrel Strength. And I will say that I think we're both in agreement that we did enjoy these bottles. We will replace them, but they're not anything that we think we need to run right back out and replace. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, if they were really, both of these were both good. And so
Yeah,
they are ones that maybe eventually, we definitely may replace. But like you said,
The
we're not
Architect,
gonna-
it was a 104 proof and the 116 proof on the barrel strength.
Yep.
So we did enjoy them and we will replace them, but there's probably other things that
will come
that
first.
have priority over
Right.
those.
And so the Architect was built 8. And if I am remembering right, these 2 were the group's favorite ones that we had that night.
So we had 4 bottles and these 2 are empty. So
Yep.
now
You're moving them out of the
we had a lot of
He was moving them out of the picture, guys.
We
He
had a
was
lot
trying
of
to get
guys
them in
here that night, so there really was not going to be much left in those. I think 2 guys had a little more pour out of each bottle.
Yeah. So Jaden, cheers. Thanks for joining us. Jaden, I think you may have hopped on after I announced it, but we will be doing a wheel spin for the paid patrons tonight for a 2-ounce sample giveaway, a mystery one.
And that's in addition. I see you've
and a
already
keychain.
entered the other giveaway,
Yep,
Jaden. So.
that's just for the patrons, so that'll be at the end. And John, he said, Bourbon Judge is great. I have a few picks from his collaboration with Josh and Aaron, Stuff and Whiskey. And it is a great channel too. We do watch that one as well. We watch a lot of channels. I mean, there's some channels on here that are great as well. A lot of them are moderators, so if you want to, go ahead and drop your link in the chat so people can check you out if they haven't already. And if you have a channel and you're not a moderator, let us know so that I can make you one as well.
And I think you made Bourbon Nerd a moderator.
Yep, I did.
The other night. Okay. Yeah. John, Josh and Aaron, I hear them talk about the Bourbon Judge a lot, so I do know that those guys are, I think, in close contact. So it's kind of cool. The community stays pretty tight, really.
So Gandhi said, I have liked everything from JT Melick. Single barrels are my favorite, but the high proof is good as well. Bourbon Outfitters carry some JT Melick. Had to believe it's 100% rice whiskey. It's hard, yeah, it is hard to believe it's 100% rice whiskey for sure.
It is.
Because you're getting a ton of flavor out of that.
It's super good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll let you introduce this next line.
Yes, so this is Western Reserve, and I think we had bought 5 bottles of these. This is a distillery up in Cleveland area, Cleveland, Ohio area, and it is another line that we had purchased for a whiskey night, like I think in February or March. It was early, and we didn't have that many people, and so we had a good bit left. Mm-hmm. They're all kind of lower proof. They're good sippers. They're all good. Would we replace all of them? I'm not sure if we'd replace all of them, but there is the sherry cask finished one that I would probably, I think it's this one here. Their labels are a little bit hard to read.
They really are.
I would, next time we're up there, I probably will go ahead and replace the sherry cask finished one because we both really enjoyed it. We enjoyed the whole line, but there's also a lot of other finished ones they have that we didn't buy and we didn't taste because we only tasted 4 of each. So maybe next time we'll taste.
Yeah, there was a lot more to taste.
Some other offerings, but for sure we'll probably still pick up a sherry cask. Not that these ones weren't great because they were, but they're probably not ones that we're going to go out and instantly replace.
And actually, part of this lineup was a rye that is not killed yet. I really enjoyed it. So we actually got a bottle of that for the bar aside from the tasting. Okay. Did you want to make any other announcements or?
Nope, I think that's all at the moment.
Okay.
Yep. Here's one of my favorite lines coming up, guys.
And these are due to another whiskey tasting night, Old Forester. And we've got the 1870, see if I can get them in order. The 1910, the 1920.
I think the other one's over there.
That one goes in here.
Yep, 1897.
1897 and the 1924.
Yes. So, would we replace them?
I think most of them have been replaced.
They have been. Yep.
I guess if I was going to say anything, if this isn't really a negative comment, but if I had anything anywhere near negative to say, it would be the 1924. And it's not that we don't like the 1924. It's just up in the $120 range, and I think that it really should be more in line with the other bottles. With that said, though, it is the only bottle of the lineup that has a different mash bill. The rest of the Whiskey Row series all has the same mash bill, and the 1924 is different. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's part of how they justified
and it's
raising
a 10-year.
price.
It is a 10-year.
It is a 10-year.
Yeah. I will tell you my favorite of the Whiskey Row series from Old Forester is the 1910. I will probably always have that one on the shelf. I just absolutely love that one. My next one that I will always have on the shelf is the 1920. Those two are my favorite. I love the whole series, honestly. 1924 obviously is hard to find. I'm not going to be able to go out and just pick another one up. But the 1910 and 1920, I will make sure that we always have that one on the shelf.
And guys, Shona and I are new at doing this and having to, usually she's off camera running the chat and everything else. So if we miss somebody, we don't mean to do it. I do see we've got Jameson Meyer, cheers from Chesapeake,
Welcome.
Virginia.
Thank you. And Roger Randall, I don't think we've said cheers to him yet, but he loves the Penelope Barrel Strength. He has seen it on sale a lot lately. Wow. I don't think we've had any of those on
I've
sale
not
in
seen
Ohio.
that on sale, no.
Like not in our area.
That's a
that
good
I've
find,
seen.
though. If you're finding that, that's a good find.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. This is going to get...
But actually, I do want to do a little disclaimer there. For the Penelope line, we had to actually get all of those up north in like Ashtabula County, Ohio, because here in Zanesville, the only ones that we truly can find is the white label 4 grain and the rosé cask. They're the only ones in the Zanesville area that we can find. So they probably are on sale in Ohio, and we just don't know it because we don't have them around here.
That's quite possible. And I mean, like, along with the Penelope lineup, we do have a bottle of Rio and a bottle of Toasted. And we've been nursing those bottles since last fall. And we actually have not had a chance to pick them up again. So we'll probably continue to nurse them until we can have another one.
So Gandy said, I have yet to buy a bottle of the Old Forester series. He's tried them all, but never got around to buying. Gandy, if you are buying one, I highly recommend the 1910 and 1920. But they're all worth definitely a try, but you have tried them, so.
Gandy, let us know if you're going to be there on the 21st, and we'll bring a couple samples. Obviously, we'll have to give them to you in the parking lot, but.
Yeah, welcome, Joe B. Making sure I haven't missed anything. Cheers. Okay, I think I have everybody.
Okay.
All right. So what's next?
Okay, up next. Actually, I'm gonna let you. I missed this one. Although it wasn't part of the.
Yeah, it wasn't part of the
same series.
Whiskey Row series. So this is just a bottle of the Old Forester 86 proof. Like $21, $22. You can't beat it. It's a really good pour. I'll drink it even as a regular pour, but for the price, it is a great mixer for old fashions or whatever you're making. So anyways, the 86 proof, I've not replaced it yet. The 100 proof one only has about that much in it as well. So both of these will be replaced in the very near future. Just haven't got there to replace them.
Perfect. Okay. I guess I get this one.
Of course you take that one.
Okay, so what I've got here is a Weller Full Proof. This bottle I actually received last year at Christmas time. My nephew, my niece's husband, out in Phoenix, sent me this bottle as a Christmas gift. We'd worked out a trade with a different bottle. Actually, no, he had gotten me a bottle of
Midwinter Night
Strong.
And he sent that to you for Christmas.
Which I bought off of him. And then when I opened the box up, this was in it. So we opened that, not right away. And to us, it was one that we tasted and we were like, it's not bad, but we're not crazy about it. A couple weeks later, we went back to it and we were like, wow. So in the spring, we were able to pick up, OHLQ did a special drop here in Ohio, and we were able to pick up a bottle. So once we had that bottle, then we started hitting that pretty hard.
And we did share it.
We did,
we
and
had a-
actually it was almost a half a bottle a few weeks ago, and we had some friends in, some circumstances, and we got together and we killed it that night. So.
We did. So great pour, and I will tell you that I will pick that bottle up anytime I see it, regardless if I already have one or two in stock, which I don't. But
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not like we're going to see that.
we're not. As
You
long
know.
as we could find that one for MSRP, I will always pick that one up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
that
maybe
good.
maybe this winter Ohio will drop it again.
Yeah, that would be great.
So on to the next. Now it's your turn.
All right, so this is the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, and it was batch 194. So we were both really excited to get this one. It was a little bit harder to find in the beginning when we were hunting for it, and so when we did get it, we were super excited. And it was good, but it wasn't $200 good. It was good, absolutely. Now, when we reviewed this with the other two Joseph Magnus lines, Stephen, welcome. Thanks for joining and making sure nobody else
Thank
hopped on
you. I
there
didn't
yet.
want to step over you and say that. So. Nancy Fraley.
Yeah, Nancy Fraley, when we did a show and reviewed them, she hopped on there and said, hey, you really need to get one that is over batch number
Yeah, she said this particular batch, did you say what batch it was?
194.
194. She said was during a transitional period, and that the newer batches, she didn't say a specific, she just said newer than that. She said, I think you'll like it a lot more. And I'm not disputing her. She may be 100% right. I think we were both in agreement, though, at $200 for the bottle, we weren't willing to take that chance.
No, we were not. I'm still debating on if we will pick up another one for $200. However, the regular Joseph Magnus, the one that runs around $99.
That was our favorite of the line.
It was the favorite. When it's gone, I may replace that one. But this one, I'm going to be hesitant. I'm not saying I'll never replace it because it was good, but I just didn't feel it was worth the $200. Oh, Mr. Richie J, thanks for joining us. Whiskey Uncensored, thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Yes, awesome.
Okay. The next one is a Bargetown from the Origin series, bottled and bond. I don't remember why we bought this bottle other than maybe just, hey, it's a Bargetown, let's try it out.
It was a bottled and bond. I think we wanted to do a bottled and bond show.
Possibly.
And then we also did a bottled and bond whiskey night that this was in as well. Will we replace it? It was decent. I don't think we're going to run out and get another one right away, though.
And the thing about that bottled and bond bottle is, I want to say, and I know I'm not going to be exactly right without looking it up, but that was a $40-ish bottle, $45 bottle. Mm-hmm. The rest of the Bargetown lineup is triple digits. We did have some of our regulars come to a whiskey night last month and brought one of the other Bargetown offerings that one of the guys, their son had bought it for them. And they were nice enough to bring it and let Shona and I try it, and it was phenomenal. Would I have bought they asked me, would you buy a $150 bottle without knowing? And my first response, I actually said, was no way. But then I got thinking about things like this that we had never tried. I've got a Remus Gatsby up there that was even more than that we had never tried. So, you know, it's a gamble. You win some, you lose some, I guess. This was a loss in my opinion.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was, but
we've had a lot better stuff.
Right. So, Gandy just let us know that Ohio just dropped the Joseph Magnus cigar blend and the club special release.
Okay.
So, Gandy, have you had a newer version of the Joseph Magnus cigar blend than the batch
194.
194? Will you let us know in the comments? And do you think it's worth the $200 price tag now?
Or anybody, not
Yeah,
just
anybody.
Candy.
Yeah, anybody. And we got, thank you, Northwest Bourbon, for asking people to hit the like button. We always forget that, so we really appreciate you doing that for us.
We do appreciate that. More you guys hit that like button, our understanding is YouTube's going to show it to more people,
Yep.
so we appreciate that.
All right, so I do have another announcement, and we have never done anything like this before, so I don't know how it will be.
It's our first time.
It's our first time. So, so we are going to do, if anybody's interested, a $5 super chat where you will get 4 1-ounce samples. And the 4 1-ounce samples are, you'll get entered for a chance to win for every $5 super chat. I better say that there. 1-ounce samples of the Mters 10-year, the Blood Oath Pack 10, the 1792 Sweet Wheat, and an Elmer T. Lee. And I'm also going to put that up on the screen right under the other one. So if anybody is interested in that sample pack, you'll be entered. We'll put your name on a wheel. For every $5, you can be entered for a drawing, and we'll get that shipped out to you.
You're not limited to one entry. I mean, if
Yep.
whatever you want to do. So that's up to you guys.
Yep.
We've never done one of those before.
We've not.
We just thought we'd throw it out there to try to make things a little more exciting. So.
Regardless, you can still enter for the free sample giveaway, and that's going to be a random.
Yep.
I'm thinking they're not going to be bad ones. I promise you they're not. But let's see.
And hey, the patron giveaway that Shona mentioned earlier, obviously we can't monitor everything as we go tonight, but if anybody became a patron tonight, let us know that so we can enter you in that. And those are paid patrons only.
Okay, so Michael Bortner says, I have batch 162, but looking for batches over 280, since Nancy says the batches over 280 are more like the first batches. Okay.
That's good to know, Michael. We didn't know that information.
Yep. And so Stephen said from the sample that he received, I wouldn't buy one. Would have to have a better sample before I would buy. And I agree. That's kind of where we're at on that too, Stephen.
Stephen, do you know what batch that sample was you had?
Chill Will, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Mr. Richie J and Joe B, Candy.
Yes.
Thank you,
And
guys.
I'm seeing some super chats in there. So if you guys, I will get those entered in. Brian's going to be talking to you, so I don't want to miss anybody.
I'm going to go ahead while you're working on that. I'll grab another bottle over here and
perfect.
talk about. Okay. So the next set, there's actually 3 bottles. We'll do 1 bottle at a time here. And this is a lineup that a friend of ours got us started on. He's a diehard. So Shona and I, 1 bottle at a time, started trying things, and at first we were like, "It's okay." It was one of those. Profiles that kind of had to grow on us. But now I think we pretty much like just about everything. And it's from Mters. So we have the Mters small batch sour mash, and we have the single barrel straight rye, and also the small batch straight Kentucky bourbon. So I know there's other bottles than those 3. We probably actually have them, they're just not emptied. Would we replace these? I think we probably already have replaced one or two of them.
Yes, we have.
Some of these, like the sour mash, we just don't see every day in our area. It was really good. I think we both liked it. The rye, when Shona and I started our journey, I don't know if we had a rye that we really cared for initially. What we have found in the last couple years, we're always up to trying a good rye. We love to try ryes.
We were.
So
At first, we were super scared of them. And I'm sorry, I was typing in, but I want to shout out everybody that's super chatted so far. So Mr. Richie J, Joe B, Gandy, Bourbon Nerd, John Shank, Tamara. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry, guys. But thank you very much. I've got your names all in there. But I will tell you, guys, I was looking at these bottles earlier, and I'm the one that I will definitely always want to have on the shelf, and I think we do have one back there, is this Mters small batch, the sour mash. I love this one. It is a lower proof. All of theirs are lower proof, but this is just a really overall good pour, and I truly enjoy this one. I don't know if all the other ones I would replace.
So we've replaced the straight bourbon whiskey already. And the other one we have back there is
the American.
Is the American, which is the one that our friend actually loves. And he's the one that got us started on that lineup. Now the American, I don't believe, is available at all in Ohio.
I've not seen it.
We actually picked him up a bottle of it one time in Kentucky, and I think that's where our bottle came from, was Kentucky.
Yep. Rick got your super chat. Thank you. And I love that saying, social sippers, making new friends one sip at a time.
Absolutely.
Rick is a great guy. Perfect.
Big supporter.
Big supporter, so thank you.
Do you want me to move any of these?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. We still got a few to go. All right. I'll let you do that one, unless you want me to do it.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second because I hadn't seen this bottle for a while. You must have finished this one on your own.
A good while ago, yeah. Well, I think I pretty much drank that whole bottle.
So, I think he did too, honestly. So this one is Houghton Young, aged 12 years. It's batch number 1. Houghton Young is a veteran-owned distillery. And if I'm remembering the story right, it was a couple guys that were served together.
I think these were Calvary guys on this bottle.
I honestly can't remember. Last year for Veterans Day, we did a Veterans Day show. We had 4 veterans besides Brian. Brian's a veteran.
So I'm a veteran,
and we had
4
other veterans.
We opened it up on our Facebook page. Anybody local veteran that would like to join us, and yeah, we had a total of 5 of us. Alan, who I think is in the chat tonight, Alan joined us.
Yep, he did. And so anyways, this was one of them. I didn't really partake that day. It was just the guys, they were doing it. And so honestly, this and a few other veteran-owned distilleries that we had, we will be doing that again. And I know Alan's planning on coming again this year. So if there are other veterans local that near Zanesville that would like to come for the Veterans Day, I doubt if we can have it on Veterans Day because last year it fell on a Saturday, so it was perfect and we could host it on Saturday. But we'll be getting that information out there. And also, if you know of any other veteran-owned distilleries that we could support and do for the Veterans Day show, that would be great.
And we haven't talked about a date for that yet, but this year Veterans Day does fall on a Monday, so we'll probably try to maybe stick to a Saturday for that event, at least for this year since it's Monday.
Yeah. Will I buy that one again? I'm going to have Brian answer that because I don't know if we would buy that one again.
I would. I haven't replaced it yet because like some of the others, there's other things that have priority over that. If I remember right, that's maybe close to a $70 bottle.
I think it was actually $89 if I'm remembering right. 79, 89.
Well, that's what the Horse Soldier was.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was too.
You think it was the same price? Okay.
Yep, I do.
At any rate, the Horse Soldier that I just mentioned, it's not quite killed yet, and it's one of those deals. Shona and I both have this bad habit. We'll find a bottle and we'll love it, but it'll be like an $80 or $90 or $100 bottle, and we'll be like, "Don't drink that. Don't drink that. I know you like it, but don't kill it because then you got to replace it."
Yep.
So-
we're both, and that's why we did this mission, because okay, we needed more shelf room, so we have to.
Yeah, it just had to happen.
Yeah,
We
it
got
had
to a
to.
point where it had to happen, and I think we counted 27 or 28 bottles before the show started, so we're getting there.
So, Mr. Richie J, I hate, I missed y'all going through all those old Forster bottles. So,
Oh, okay.
So you missed us going through those. We had the 1870, the 1897, the 1910, the 1920, and the 1924 that we have killed. I will tell you, the 1910 and the 1920, we will probably always have on our shelf. Those are our two favorites. 1924 obviously is delicious. However, it's double the price and it is hard to find, if you can even find it. So, for sure, the 1910 and 1920, we will always replace.
Hey, Rick Moreland, send Shauna a message later on. Let her know what you're interested in, because absolutely, I mean, they're just going to go in the trash. And
Yeah, I was just going to save the corks, but if you're wanting some of these bottles, just let me know, Rick, and we will
Absolutely.
get those sent to you.
And I saw another one here I wanted to address. Northwest Bourbon, the American is your favorite baseline Mters. It is a great bottle. It really is a great pour. But like I said, I'm pretty fond of all the Mters stuff.
Yeah.
And we hadn't had it until that friend said, "Hey, you got to try this." So, you know, that's another great thing about the community is we all like to recommend things to people. And some of the stuff, you just can't go try it all. You have to have some pointers, try this or try that or avoid that. So,
Alan, Mr. Richie J said 1910 and 1920. He totally agrees. Alan said Lawrenceburg Distillery, veteran owned. Thanks, Alan. Is that in Kentucky? I'm assuming that's in Kentucky. Let me know. Maybe Brian and I can slip down there sometime and check that out to get some for the Veterans Day show. Miss Lori J likes the 1910 and 1920 better than the 1924. I can't disagree with you, because even in a blind, the 1910 beat the 1924 for me as well.
Yeah, and we don't hate the 1924. There's just better options in that lineup even. I mean, you don't even have to go out of the lineup, I don't think.
No. However, I am really enjoying this JT Mellick.
That's a fun pour.
Rice whiskey. I really appreciate, Gandy, you sharing that with us, because it's fun. It is truly fun. I'm kind of sad because I know that we cannot get this in Ohio. I've never seen it in Ohio. Have you?
I don't think so. Gandy, can that be got at Party Source?
Yeah. Okay, so Tammy and Alan said yes, it is in Kentucky and it's by Wild Turkey. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
What a convenient place to be.
Yeah.
Are we ready for more?
Stephen, you're right. If 1924 was a $75 bottle, it would definitely be a buy over and over and over if you could get it.
If you could get, and we've said that right from the start. It's it just is in the wrong price point for the bottle. It's a great bottle, and it compares, but it needs to compare price wise.
Right, because all of the other line is 50s and 60s. Well,
Yep.
at least here in Ohio, they're 50s and 60s, and then it doubles.
Yep.
It's like 119.
Yeah, I mean, he nailed it.
120,
That's
yeah.
exactly right. We've said that all along.
Yeah, it's
So we
it's
couldn't
kind of
agree
crazy.
more. Okay, the next ones.
Those are your favorites, so
There actually should be a third bottle in this lineup, but what happened, the reason there isn't a third bottle is we started buying a huge bottle and refilling the small bottle, so that's why there's not an empty. Anyway, it's the Bullet lineup. Again, a friend, when we were getting started on this journey, a friend said, "Hey, try this Bullet Orange Label." And I know it's not the best bourbon out there, but it's a solid little bottle for, I think, $25 or $26 here in Ohio. It's great in a Manhattan. It's great in an old fashioned. It's great just to sip on, I think. Now, there's a lot of other things that I've grown into preferring to sip on. However, you know, it's my Old Faithful, I guess. It's kind of, I kind of cut my teeth on it. But, so that bottle's not in this lineup tonight. However, the Bullet 95 Rye is. Would we replace this bottle? We have not replaced it because
We got the
some time ago I picked up the 12-year rye.
the 12-year rye.
This isn't a bad rye, but I think the 12-year rye is a whole lot better.
Yep.
Maybe you guys agree or disagree. I'd be interested to hear what you think on that.
Jameson was worried about you running out of bar space, so I scooted your
Oh.
iPad down a little.
See, I offered to put some of that stuff on the other, back over on the other side, Jameson, but she said, no, we got room. Okay, so the other one is still another bullet entry, and it is the barrel strength. I'm not really sure what made us buy this. We had a friend say, hey, pick me up a bottle of that if you see it. So we did. I think that maybe that's why we got it. He tried it. He doesn't really like a hot pour. Although this comes in at 120 proof. It was a whole lot hotter than he liked. I think we tried his and we were like, you know what, we need one of those.
Yeah.
So, will we replace this? Already have.
Yep, we already did.
It's already back on the shelf. In fact, it was bought before this one was empty. So,
In fact, the one that we got was a store pick
it is.
from Kentucky. It wasn't the party source, but it was very close to the party source.
Yeah, I'm looking. I wanted to see. Oh, we don't even have it out on the shelf yet. Okay. I was going to tell you maybe what store that was from, but I'm not going to dig unless you know right where it's at.
Probably.
I can never remember the name of the stores we go to. I could find them again, but can't remember names. Okay, what do we got? Rick, absolutely. We do like the 95. I just think the 12 years is a little better. Jameson, yeah, that's kind of my thought on it too. It's fabulous for the money.
Yep. Covington Tobacco is where we got the store pick. And it's a fun little place. One thing I love going about to the little liquor stores in Kentucky, a lot of them, if they have a lot of store picks, they actually give you little samples.
Yeah, this store had a
And-
cool table with all their store picks, and all you had to do is say, hey, do you have this one? And she'd go to the back and get it and get you a little
Yes.
plastic shot glass.
And honestly, I mean, it was a great experience. You know, some people are very, you know, customer service friendly. This place was super customer friendly. You know, I was planning on buying like 2-3 bottles there already because I had them. But, you know, after just the great customer experience, I went ahead and stocked up on some other stuff and went out of there with like probably 8 bottles because of the customer service. It was great.
This store, these Mters, those were actually bought for one of our whiskey club tasting nights. That's where those came. We picked those up at that store. John Shank, you mentioned the 10-year. I agree. Another great bottle. I'll replace this one when it's needed, for sure. How about the malt? How about the Bullet malt? Have you guys had the Bullet malt?
The single malt, it's delicious. I like it.
Yeah, we love it. And I would say we'll replace it immediately when it needs replaced. And that's the nice thing about those Bullets is they're a solid pour, and they don't break the bank.
Right. Just a shout out. I see Mike Rowe joined us. He is in the chat. So Mike, we're sorry that you're not here with us tonight, but I'm trying to fill in for you. I'm not quite as funny as you, Mike, but I'm trying.
Mike, we're having a terrible time without you.
Also, Troy from Baker Drinks, thank you for hopping on. Really
Troy.
appreciate it. Let's see. I think if I'm missing anybody, I do apologize because I don't think I am. But if I am, just know that we appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Troy, I just want you to know, we were working on putting this together. We didn't just copy your last show.
We didn't. We were like, oh, he's going to think we copied, and we really didn't because we were ready to do this. So please don't hate us.
They do these quite often, though. I've seen them do a lot of bottle kill shows. Maybe not a lot, but several. Okay. Whose turn is it
All
for
right,
this
Tammy,
mess?
thanks for the super chat. I got you in for an entry.
Oh, Mrs. Lori J said you're prettier than Mike.
Aw, I'm sorry, Mike. Aw, but thanks, Miss Lori J.
Hey, Mike, she's not lying, though, really. Mike.
All right, so next one is our Four Roses. Okay, I will tell you that when we started getting in a little bit more to whiskey, my old boss that has retired, Pete, he got, when we would go to conferences, Pete and I would have to go to conferences a couple times a year, and Bryan would always tag along with us. We always had a great time in the evenings and stuff, hanging out. Well, Pete introduced Bryan really to bourbon during those conferences, and I would drink bourbon. I've always drank whiskey and stuff ever since I was probably way too young. Anyways, but I would always drink wine and stuff, but Pete really sold us on Four Roses.
It was
And
kind of his go-to,
it was-
so that's what he,
It was.
hey, you guys really need to do this.
And so I fell in love with the single barrel Four Roses. It is one of my go-tos. It's up in a decanter up in my dining room that I will have a pour every now and then when I'm upstairs. And it's just a delicious, delicious pour. I will always have multiple bottles. They are single barrels, so I don't get a cherry note on all of them, but for the most part, on a lot of them, I get a cherry note. And for those who know me, I love that cherry note. So this is one that I will buy over and over and over, because for $50, you can't beat this single barrel.
And I think we already have that bottle on the shelf replaced, and I think there's a couple more of those upstairs.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
we
there's-
actually did a show when we were comparing single barrels, and I think we did a blind where we opened 3 or 4 of those to see if we could see differences in them, and we did. But that's why we have so many of them. However, we will continue to buy that bottle.
Yeah. And Alan, I got your super chat, got your name entered, so thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
Thank all you guys for the support tonight.
Miss Lori J is also a Four Roses fan. Can't beat it. So Jameson says small batch select is better. Did not replace a single barrel. Now,
We're getting to that, Jameson.
yes.
Okay, so we have small batch and we have small batch select. I think, let me reread your comment.
The select.
Small batch select is my preference. It's a blend of 6 bourbons, where the small batch is only a blend of 4. It's still a great bottle, the small batch, but the select is, that was probably my favorite. Shona liked the single barrel. I think I would say the small batch select was mine. Have we replaced this bottle or this bottle? No. Why? I don't know.
We've honestly just been waiting to clean off some shelf room.
Yeah, I think it's a space thing because these bottles will get replaced.
Yes.
This small batch I found to be really nice in the evenings if you want to sit down and just relax and have an easy sipper. And truly just an easy sipper. I mean, it goes down so smooth. The Select does too, but this one's probably a little better for that.
So Jameson has 3 bottles as they were all different recipes. That's awesome.
Interesting.
You know what? Jameson, I'm going to look into that some because I didn't realize.
I do know that Four Roses does offer a lot of receives. So
I did, but I didn't realize it was
yeah, I did.
like that.
I guess we need
Thank
to
you
do
for
more
that
homework
tip.
on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Jaden said small batch is really good for the money. Honestly, I'm a Four Four Roses fan. I know there's some people that would highly disagree with us on that, but we really like the Four Rose line.
We do, really. And the nice thing about it is it's not hard to get.
Yeah, it's not.
At
yeah.
least here locally, we can walk into our local liquor store and buy any of the Four Roses any day.
Yep. So, hey, I'm finished with my first JT Mellick pour.
I was just nursing this, but I can be ready for another one.
Okay, so Gandy, we're trying the next one. And it is the JT Mellick 100% rice whiskey, high proof 118. So the other one was the Bourbon Judge pick, and it was 124.7 proof. This one is 118 proof. So
While you're pouring that, I know we've had a lot of people join us tonight. We're doing a few giveaways. The first one is exclamation point whiskey, and that's for 4 samples. Those are actually at the top of the screen. What you'll get for that,
yep, it's
be
4
one
random.
winner. Be one winner. Be a random draw. The next giveaway we're doing is if you're a paid patron, there'll be 1 sample and a keychain.
It's a 2 ounce
1 2-ounce sample.
surprise sample.
Surprise sample.
And then a bottle opener keychain.
I said can opener, I think, didn't I?
Yeah,
I meant
can
bottle
opener.
My bad.
It's not going to open too many cans. I don't think.
And the last giveaway is based on Super Chat. A $5 Super Chat gets you a chance to win 4 different samples. And I don't know if Shona has that on the. She does not have that on the.
The super
Yeah,
chat?
you do.
Yeah, I do. It's
Yeah,
up
you
there.
do.
It's underneath the other
4
one.
1-ounce samples. Those
Yep.
will be Mters 10, Blood Oath Pack 10, 1792 Sweet Wheat, and an Elmer T. Lee.
Yes.
So that is for a $5 Super Chat.
So Jameson is saying there are 10 single barrel strength recipes. Thank you, Jameson. I had no clue, so thank you for letting us know that. Gandy said, I stopped replacing regular shelfers, too many new bottles to try. You know what, that's
Kind of where we're at too, Gandy. I mean, and that's why some of this stuff we will replace, but not right away because there's so much more stuff that we want to try.
there are, and for the show, we want new things so we can review them, talk about them, and it's not that we don't want these, because we do want them.
Yeah, it's kind of a two-way problem. Is you have to make your funds go where you need them to go, and
Yep.
that is making content for our show. The other thing is we really are limited on. I mean, we've got good space. There's probably a lot of people who would like to have our space, but it's not that much space.
Right. And so after, we're done with this show, I'll have a lot more space under here.
Yeah, on our bottom shelves, we'll
I
have
won't be
space.
kicking these all the time.
What's this one? What do we got here?
So that's the JT Mellick, the high proof, 118.
The high proof.
100% rice, like all of theirs. Wait a minute, I should ask, Gandy, is that true? Are all their whiskeys 100% rice, or do they add other stuff in with them? Some different varieties, or do they do purely 100% rice?
Boy, that's smooth.
It is very smooth. This
Wow.
one's actually a little bit sweeter than the Bourbon Judge pick. A little bit fruitier. I hate to say this. I think I may like this one better than the Bourbon Judge pick, though.
I think I do too. I
like that.
It's not that I didn't
fruitiness
like
of
the
it,
Bourbon Judge's
sweetness of
pick,
it.
but I like that.
Yeah, I love the Bourbon Judge pick. However, after having it, then going to this one's really good. Love it. So Gandy said,
Rick and Gandy both said 100% rice.
rice. That is
Okay.
awesome.
You ready?
I am. Oh,
I know you like those.
I do.
Not that I don't. But
So the new Riff Distillery, we both love it. It is absolutely one of our favorite distilleries. So this is the bottled and bond, around $44, I think, here in Ohio. Will we replace it? Already have actually blended our own down there, bottled and bonds.
yeah.
We will always have this one on the shelf. I know They have a lot of good single barrels too. That's why I loved going to New Riff whenever we can make it there, because I can go up to their tasting floor on the 3rd floor and taste what single barrels they have released down there and pick up some single barrels. Absolutely amazing. They're all super nice. If you haven't been to the New Riff Distillery and you have a chance to go, definitely check out the 3rd floor. And if you like old fashions, I'm going to throw this out there. I know, we're all whiskey connoisseurs and we all love the bourbon and stuff like that, but they make really good, and they actually make it themselves, old fashions, and you can get it for
what do they call it, like old fashions for 2?
yeah,
or something
old fashions
like.
for 2, and they serve it like in a little jar, like a little decanter.
I think it was corked. A reusable cork.
Yeah, and it's just a fun experience. And
yeah, and actually, I think we each had 2 old fashions out of it. They weren't big pours, but
Right.
I think we each had 2
yeah,
old fashions.
it's nice, and was only like $18.
Yeah, it was really a good deal.
Yeah, it was really good. So if you have a chance, definitely, if you're going to the Party Source or stop in the New Riff, it's in the same parking lot. Go up to that 3rd floor, check out their bar, check out their tastings. They have a lot of tastings, what they call their library. You can't get them anymore, so I don't even want to taste them, because then I'll love it, and then I can't get it, then I'm going to be irritated.
I want to hit on something Michael Bortner said here. He said he tries to keep his below 300 bottles to keep the wife happy. Something about bottles everywhere. I don't think we're quite to 300. I don't think I have room for 300, but I think last time I checked, we were maybe 225 to 250. But our shelves at that number are packed. I mean, they're like 3 bottles deep, and you have to pull stuff off to get to stuff. And
But I'm not going to complain if it's more than that, Michael.
I don't think we'll have a lot more than that. But and the other thing is, I think Rick is accusing us of having trash pallets.
Oh.
I think.
Wow.
Hey, call it what you will, Rick.
Yeah.
Call it what you will.
So Michael also picked up the New Riff 8-year on his way home today. I have had that sample at the distillery, but they didn't have it in stock.
I think the last time we were there, it was going to release the next week.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of missed out.
Yep.
On that one. So let us know how you liked it. I really liked the sample that I had.
I'm going to let you do this one too, because I know it's a favorite.
So, oh shoot.
Rick likes a New Riff, single barrel 113 proof.
They do. They make some really great single barrels.
Rick says we went against the judge. The bourbon judge.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose. All right. So the next one is Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. All right. Yes, we've already replaced it. Why? It's good and it wins some blinds for us. Is it great? No, but it's $20.
Right.
I mean, how can you not replace this for $20?
How great are you going to expect for 20?
Right.
I mean, you have to consider that too. It's a $20 bottle.
We will always probably have this on the shelf because it makes a great old fashioned. It makes a great mixer. It's, like I said, $20. How can you go wrong?
Here's the other thing. Call me bad. Call me bad. This is going to make me sound bad probably, but I'll bet not. If I have somebody here that enjoys a good cocktail, let's say Shona came and wanted an old-fashioned, we'll just continue to use that. I'm probably going to use something really good to make that. If I have somebody that's maybe new to bourbon and they're wanting to try an old-fashioned just because they want to fit in and be drinking what everybody else is drinking, I'm probably going to grab something like this to make that. So I'll tell you, Shauna's drank a lot more than that than I did.
So Jaden agrees. Evan Williams Bottled and Bond is the best value in whiskey. Completely agree. However, Mr. Richie J says he has to pass on it.
Mr. Richie J,
I get it. I understand.
Push come to shove, I'm with you, man. I really am.
Jameson says it makes a great old fashioned. It absolutely does. I really enjoy it.
Mrs. Lori J. They're sipping on one of Rick's blends. I think that OB1's one of Rick's blends. Okay, that brings us to, I guess we'll do this one. I'm going to let Shona do most of these, I guess, because she's the drinker of the two of us.
Okay. Sorry, just took a drink. 1792, small batch.
Readily available here in our area.
I love the 1792 line. I have not had a 1792 that I have not enjoyed.
I went into our local liquor store one morning for their allocated drop. Nothing dropped, or either that or I was too far back in line. I don't remember. So I went back into the store. I was looking on the shelf because I was like, I hate to go home empty-handed. We really were just getting started, and we were just looking to add stuff. This was before I met Alan, who's in the chat. I picked this bottle up, looked at it, put it back on the shelf. Alan was standing there and he said, I think I'd pick that back up if I were you. I said, really? He's like, yeah, it's pretty good. So I bought it, brought it home, we tried it.
And it's good.
And we've been buying it ever since.
We have bought probably, I would say, going on 5 of these.
I was going to guess 4, but yeah.
Because it's $33. It's a great pour for $33. And I've become a really big fan of this. We have the foolproof, the sweet wheat, and the bottled and bond. I will tell you that we do have a gentleman, Bryan, who comes to our whiskey night. He has a friend that lives in another state that gets the 1792 line on a regular basis. And so he has like the entire line. And so he has invited us to come do a live with him at some point. I know September and October are both kind of crazy for both sets. No weekends are matching up, but soon we are going to do a live thing. He has a cigar club too, and so they have a place they hold a cigar club.
Yeah, they actually have like a clubhouse, for lack of a better term.
So we are going to do a 1792 live with him in the near future because we can't wait. When he showed us his lineup of that, he was all excited. We were all excited. Can't wait to do that.
1792s, we just really like that line.
So Mr. Ritchie said he's on board with any of the 1792s. So he can get the bottle and bond for $39. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
And so Jameson said 1792 foolproof is his favorite. I would agree. The foolproof is awesome. Unfortunately, we kind of nurse. The small batch is the only one we can get locally easily around. And so we have the other 3, and I kind of nurse them because it's one that we can't get them. And so once they're gone, for us, it might take us a long time to replace them.
Yep.
So Steven said 1792 small batch was my gateway into whiskey. You know,
I could see
but I can see that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's great.
Now, let me ask you this, Stephen. Was that just a shot in the dark, or did somebody recommend that to you, or give you a pour of it? How'd you pick that bottle to try? Shauna, I know what she'd say. Shauna would say, well, it's a pretty bottle. I like the bottle. I'll give you that.
So,
this is the last bottle, guys.
It is. All right. So, Heaven and Hell, the bottled and bond. We bought this when it released last summer. Bryan and I reviewed it. We were okay with it. It was just okay, but it wasn't our favorite. However, a few months later, Mike said, hey, I wasn't a fan of that Heaven Hill, but the other night I opened it up and it was really good. And so he was here. We were doing a live. And so we opened up ours that has also sat open. Wow. After it opened up after a few months, it is delicious. We all really like it. So honestly, we have actually already replaced this. Again, didn't like it on first sip, but it opens up and we loved it.
Steven went with 1792 because it was a pretty bottle.
Aww. Aww.
There's a little LOL in there, so.
Hey, I get that, Steven. That's all me.
And Jameson, I mean, you sound just like us. You're nursing all of them because they're hard to get. 1792 is the only one we don't nurse of that because it's always at the store.
All right, guys, I am going to go ahead and close the entries for the...
If you're not in, I'll give everybody one more chance. If you're not in the free giveaway, exclamation point whiskey, everybody's eligible. You just have to enter that in the chat.
I already closed it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was closing it.
Never mind.
Sorry, guys. So I am going to...
Sorry, guys. Hopefully you were in there.
Pick the winner, maybe, in a second.
So this is the first of the giveaways.
Always have to refresh it and stuff afterward, after a while, after I close it, because it... Okay.
It really does look like a premium bottle, Steven. You're right. I mean, it's, you know, it kind of jumps out and grabs your eye for sure.
Winner is Jaden G. Congratulations, Jaden.
Congrats, Jaden.
I have your information, so I will get you the sample pack. So thank you. And then I am going to I'm going to share my screen, guys, and we are going to pick the winner for the premium.
Is Jaden still in here? We got to make sure he's still in here.
Oh yeah, we do. Jaden, are you still here?
We'll give you just a minute to get back with us here, Jaden.
Yep. All right, so while we're waiting to see if Jaden, yep, he's here.
There he is.
All right, perfect. So I am going to shuffle this a couple times. And this is for the $5 super chat pick. And
Thank you to everybody that sent us $5 super chat.
yes.
Our first go around with that.
And the winner is Joe B. Congratulations. So Joe
Good deal.
B, I do not think that I have your information. So if you could email us at cask529info@gmail.com. It's in the description. If you could email us so I can get that sent out to you, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks for entering, Joe.
Yep. And then give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to get back, and then we're going to do the patron drawing.
Steven said he identifies as a winner.
I love that. All right. So this is for the patrons. Here we go. Congratulations, Jaden. You just
Jaden.
saved me some shipping.
You're cleaning up tonight, Jaden.
So I'm assuming you're still in the chat, correct? Yep, you just responded to
Yeah,
thanks,
he
John.
just
So I know
thanked
that you're
John,
still in
so-
there. So Jaden, you will get the keychain and the 2-ounce surprise sample with your other samples. So congratulations.
I can't wait to see what the surprise sample is.
He said LOL. All right. So again, we're going to do that patron one every time that we, not the trivia nights where we go live.
Every other
but
live.
the other lives that we go live. And so what we will probably do is, Jaden, since you won this time, we'll probably keep you out 1 week and then we'll put you back in. That way other people have a chance to win. But that's probably how we'll do it. We'll just take you out for that live and then you'll go
Yep.
back into the next one.
Yep.
So, all right.
So, great turnout tonight, guys. We really appreciate all the support. Thank you to everyone that tried us out with the Super Chat giveaway.
Great. Thank you.
That we were really nervous about doing that just because it was just new to us.
It was, yeah.
And we've never asked for any kind of a donation. So hopefully you enjoy those, Joe, you enjoy those samples.
Yes. And so coming up Sunday, we have a fun blind that Gandy sent us. Gandy sent us a 4-bottle blind. It's a 4 little sample blind. So we will be putting that out there Sunday evening. Can't wait to do that. So be looking for it. And then we will be back Wednesday with not only What's in the Glen Wednesday, but we will also be doing the whiskey trivia Wednesday night. And I mean, even if you can only join one time in September, it's worth it because you could get the 1,000 points to go towards trying the chance to win the Eagle Rare that Gandy provided.
Takes 1,000 points to get an entry in the giveaway.
Yep.
And that complete giveaway is not only the Eagle Rare, it's also a Cask 529 flask and a Cask 529 tumbler that will have 3 1-ounce samples in it.
And so then also, we do 2 rounds of trivia, 10 questions each. Whoever wins that round will also get something. Last week we gave away metal flask. This week we are giving some tumblers away. I've got to do those in the shop this weekend, so I don't have those, but we will have a couple tumblers to give away to the winners this coming week. Plus, again, for every 1,000 points, or if you're a paid patron, you automatically, every week you show up, you get an entry. So, so far it's fun. I promise, if you joined last week, this week I will try not to make them so hard.
Also, we're going, I don't know that it'll start this coming week because we've got a lot going on this coming week. I'm going to start a segment called probably something like Solo Sipping, where Shona is going to get to take a night off and not be on camera anyway. She'll probably be watching me from the couch laughing at me, but I'm just going to sip on some bourbon and talk to whoever joins me. And she's going to maybe work on making it so I can have some guys get on the live stream with me and join me, and we'll, who knows, we might have a grand old time.
Yes. So Rick asked if we were going backstage tonight. So
kind of goes along with what I just said.
Yep. So not necessarily doing where we're bringing someone in this evening. However, we will be trying to call Mike and the gang. I know that they are actually out bourbon hunting tonight. So if we can bring them on and get them going, we will be filming some after hours for our patron page if we can get them on. So it'd be fun to see the line and stuff that they're in, and also just do some chatting. We're going to try if we can get them on FaceTime to bring it up on the screen so that when we're filming we can talk to them and see them.
Yeah, so for the patrons that have checked out the patrons page, you'll see that after every live we put a after hours clip on there of the shenanigans that go on after the show. And so I called Mike before we went live tonight and said, hey, we'd like to try to FaceTime you, and we're gonna, if it works, we're gonna cast it up onto the TV, and we'll film that interaction. Sure to be a good time.
Mr. Richie J, there's actually 27 empties up on the bar tonight.
27.
Yes.
And there's more that are close.
There are. All right. So I think that's all we have tonight.
I think it is. Again, thank everybody for joining. And Rick, to go along with, you asked about going backstage. Let me just add a little bit to that. Currently, we only have the ability to have one person come on with us. So it's...
Hey, if people don't mind hanging around, I can try to set that up and Rick can come on. backstage to
Okay.
see if we can get it working. We tried it before. John Shank was a
John was our guinea
he
pig?
was our guinea pig. It froze up the whole time with us. That's why I'm so nervous about it. Jameson, yes, I do save our corks, just because you never know when you're going to get a broken one and need one.
Sounds like a guy looking for a 1792 cork. Who has had bad luck with 1792 corks? Recently, we've done all right with them, but man, at first it seemed like we had a lot breaking.
Yep. Rick said good night, folks, so he's out of here.
That'll work. We'll get it working, Rick. We'll get it
will. We
working, and
promise
we can
you.
have some people on, and that's kind of what we're hoping to do with that solo sipping, where it's just me and whoever tunes in.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and until next time, everyone, be safe.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you.